This year, the adventure comes to you. The Library Summer Reading Program is going virtual. Here are some ways you can learn, grow, connect with us this summer. Your first step is to get a library card. If you don't have a library card, you can sign up online at ocls.info/card and we'll mail it to your home. You can still go on adventures.
Let the wild rumpus start.
Even if you're staying home. Be sure to read at least 20 minutes a day. Download the Beanstack app to make the experience more fun. You can earn badges for participating in our virtual challenges and for recording the books you read. Sign up for our virtual events and classes, which will be offered all summer long for children, teens, and adults. Be sure to visit ocls.info/SRP for a schedule of events, helpful links, our reading list, and more. Orange County Library System is your place to learn, grow, connect, no matter where you are.
Hi, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our summer reading program. My name is Laura, and I will be your host today. So as you probably already know, this year our summer reading program is completely online, and we have lots of great activities and events, just like the one you're going to see today, planned for you all summer long. So just like you saw in that video, in order to join in on all the fun, you do need to do a few things. So one, you need to sign up for a library card at ocls.info. Two, you need to make sure that you join Beanstack and create an account. And number three, make sure that you register to attend all of our virtual events. So this summer, we are challenging you to read for at least 20 minutes every single day and keep track of those minutes by logging them into Beanstack or by using our paper reading tracker. And if you complete the challenge of reading a total of 600 minutes by July 24th, you're going to get a prize bag full of awesome goodies, and you'll be automatically entered into our grand prize drawing. For more information about our summer reading program, to see our events calendar, and to check out some great book recommendations, visit our website at ocls.info/SRP. But now let's start our show. If you think science is boring, well, think again. Professor DoDad will help us explore the tales of matter and the changes that occur. His lab will fizzle, bang, pop, and ooze tales of chemistry with this hands-on science show. I hope you're ready to have so much fun. Let's bring in Professor DoDad.
Good morning.
Good morning, Professor DoDad. How are you?
I am good. How are you, Miss Laura?
I am so great. I'm so excited for this. Seeing science experiments is probably one of my absolute favorite things. So I think we're all really excited for this.
Awesome. I'm excited too. I'm glad everyone is joining us today.
Absolutely. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time because I want to see all of these really cool science experiments. So I'm going to go backstage and let you get to it, okay?
Sounds good. See you in a bit.
All right, we'll see you.
Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you are having a good day and a great summer, and I hope you're reading. That's right. Make sure that you're reading and keeping up with all those minutes. Only 600 minutes. And you get a prize bag, and I'm already reading myself, so I'm trying to get those 600 minutes as well. But welcome to my lab this morning. Welcome to my lab. It is all about the tales of chemistry. That's right. We are talking chemistry today, and I am so excited. That's right. I am excited because chemistry is fun. Science is fun. And boys and girls, we are going to be talking about chemistry. We're going to be talking about what is chemistry and what is a physical change and a physical change. So we're going to be talking about that. We'll be talking about and showing you a couple experiments. And then at the end, if you have got questions, make sure you put those in the chat box because Miss Laura will be asking those questions to me. So we will ask those questions, and I will see if I can answer them for you. We'll get the answers for you. But I have always had the question asked, Professor, how did you get interested in chemistry? Well, boys and girls, let me tell you, because I was only 8 years old. That's right. I was 8 years old. I was sitting in school, and we had a science show, and I was so excited. I couldn't believe it. It was science. And so I got on the very front row. I begged and begged and begged my teacher to let me sit on the front row. So when I sat on the front row, a scientist came out. Yes, he came out in front of all this stuff that he had sitting on the table, and he showed this huge beaker. That's right. It was just a huge beaker of water, he said. And so I was like looking intently on what was in that beaker. And he said, there's just water in the beaker. That's right. It was just water. And I was like, okay, what's going to happen? And so then he brought out a chemical that, it was just kind of a dark color. And he began to pour it into that huge beaker of water. Well, boys and girls, that huge beaker of water began to change color. I was getting excited. That's right. I was getting excited. Now, I don't know what you get excited about, but I was getting excited because that water was changing colors. And so I was like, ooh, this is amazing. And so I got my eyes and I kept looking at what was going to happen. And then he brought out another chemical, boys and girls, another chemical. And it was kind of white in color. And he poured that chemical into that mixture. Well, guess what? That mixture got even darker in color. It got even darker in color. Well, guess what? I was excited because it got darker. And I was like, ooh, what's going to happen? And he goes, it's not done yet. And I was like, okay. What is going to happen? And boys and girls, he brought out something that kind of looked like salt granules. And he began to pour all of those salt granules into that mixture. Now, I didn't know if it was salt. It looked like salt. And then he began to stir. He began to stir, and he said, keep your eye on the beaker. Well, boys and girls, I kept my eye on that beaker, and something amazing began to happen. That beaker turned clear and turned back to water. I was like, yes, that is amazing. And boys and girls, that was chemistry. Well, I was excited at the age of 8 about science and about chemistry. And boys and girls, I had somebody ask me, so, well, what age do you have to be a scientist? It doesn't matter. You just have to be excited about science. And I thought I was a scientist, and I believe I was a scientist, and I still believe I was a scientist at the age of 8 when I got excited about science and started studying and started reading and started trying experiments. And that experiment is what started my love for science. And so today, here is my question for you. My question for you is, what is chemistry? What is chemistry? It's really easy. Boys and girls, it's just this. Chemistry is the study of matter and the changes that take place with that matter. Now, this is what I like about chemistry and I like about science is just this. Because, chemistry, it's one chemical, two chemicals, put them together, and something happens. That's right. Here, why don't you join me? Take your one hand, put your other hand, go one chemical, two chemicals, put them together, and something happens. Let's do that again. You ready? Here we go. One chemical, two chemicals, bring it together, and something happens. That is chemistry, and that is a chemical reaction that you just saw. That was a chemical reaction, and that is just one of those amazing things about science. So today, it is all about chemistry. It is all about chemistry, and so I have a little question for you. Is what is a physical change? What is a physical change? Well, boys and girls, it can be a lot of different things. And today, when we talk about chemistry and talk about what is a physical change, well, here is what we're talking about. Here is what we're going to be talking about. It's just this. A physical change, it's the change in matter that doesn't change what the matter is. So let me kind of break this down a little bit. How many of you have ever taken ice and let it melt? That's right. What does it turn into? Well, it turns into liquid water. That's right, it turns into liquid water. Now, the ice was already water. It was just frozen, and then it turned to water. And then if we were to take that water and put it under some heat, then you would begin to see something come off of it, and we would call that steam. That steam is still water. It's still water, and it didn't change in the sense of what the physical makeup. It changed into steam. It came from ice to water to steam, but it's still water. Now, let me show you a physical change today. So I brought a couple of things. So I have this. I have a bottle, and I have a little pump that you would pump up your tires with. And then I have this chemical. Now, this chemical is just alcohol. It's just alcohol. And so what we're going to do is we are going to pour it right inside the bottle. We're going to pour it right inside the bottle. Now, here's what's going to take place. We are going to put the stopper and my pump that's connected to, we're going to connect it in. And we are going to push down on this. It's going to push air into the bottle. We are going to increase the pressure inside the bottle. So we are pushing air into it. So as that pressure increases in the bottle, we're actually heating it up. That's right. Where we increase the pressure, it will heat up. It will begin to heat up. So we are going to keep pushing air in, and we're making it really tight. Now, what's happening inside that bottle is we are combining those molecules. We're getting them really tight. We're forcing them together, okay? So we're pushing those bottles together. And so let me keep pushing. Let me do it more. So we're increasing the pressure inside the bottle. Now the bottle is getting really, really tight. I mean, it's like, and so let me push it again. There we go. Ooh, one more time. Now, here is what the amazing thing that's going to happen. We're going to take the stopper off of the bottle. Now, you're going to hear this noise of all of that air rushing out. So what is all of this warm air that is rushing out? It's going to push out, and cold air is going to go in. Now, let's see what it looks like, though. You ready? Here we go. Whoa! Look at that! That is a cloud. That's right. That is that cloud. So what is happening is that alcohol, well, when we put that pressure onto it and then suddenly we let all that pressure out, it condensed. That vapor condensed and created a cloud. Now, that's a physical change. That cloud is still alcohol. It's not anything else but alcohol. So we just changed it from being water or liquid to a vapor, and it turned into a cloud. And that is a physical change. That is amazing. That is so amazing. I'm so excited about chemistry and about science. Now, a physical change is just changing, doesn't change what it is. It just changes like from water to ice or water to steam. We're just kind of changing the structure of it and what it might look like, but it will always be like ice will always be water. Clouds will always be water. So we're just doing a physical change. We're just doing a physical change. Now, what is even more amazing? What is even more amazing with that? And oh, hold on, honey. I gotta come back over here because I gotta see myself. I can't see myself. Oh, let me see if I can see myself. Oh, there it is. Oh, my computer like done something really weird there. But a physical change is just that. But let's talk about this one. Let's talk about a chemical change. Now, here's a question for you, boys and girls. What is a physical change? What is a chemical change? We talk about physical change, but what is a chemical change? Now, a chemical change is the best. That's right. It is like really, really cool because it's just this. Boys and girls, a chemical change is any change that causes a new substance to be formed. So when we do one chemical, two chemicals, when they come together, something happens. But we get something brand new. We're not doing ice to water or water to steam. We are getting something brand new. We're getting something brand new. And so I brought something today for you all to see a chemical change. For a chemical change. Oh, boys and girls, this is going to be so much fun. Now, inside of this cup is something, well, it's kind of a powder. It's kind of a powder, and it's called sodium acrylate. That's right. Now, sodium acrylate is, it's kind of like a polymer. Well, it's a polymer. It's kind of like a powder. It looks like maybe like cake mix or something like that. Now, it's a powder that you would find inside of a baby's diaper. That's right, inside of a baby's diaper. And well, boys and girls, we are going to see a chemical change. That's right, because sodium polyacrylate has a, well, it's really cool what happens. So here, let's give it a try. So I have some water, that's H2O on our periodic table, and we put those two things together, hydrogen and oxygen, we put it, yes, we get water. And then I have my sodium polyacrylate. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pour that water right on the inside of my cup. Now, here's a question for you. When I turn the cup over, is the water going to come out? And what force pulls that water down to the ground? Gravity. That's right. Gravity pulls that water down to the ground. So when I turn this cup over, the water is going to come down to the ground and, well, it's going to make a mess. That's right. Thankfully, I've got like all this plastic all over the place so I don't make a mess. But boys and girls, let's give it a try. Are you ready? Let's count down from 3, 2, 1. Oh my gracious, boys and girls, it did not come out. It did not come out. Hold on, let me show you what just took place. Boys and girls, look at that. That is, well, that is that chemical reaction or that chemical change. That's right. Remember, chemical change is when we put two chemicals, something happened. Well, we got a brand new substance. We got a brand new substance. Now, this polymer, a polymer is a repeating chain of molecules. And, well, when we put the water into that sodium polyacrylate, it absorbed and turned into something new. It turned into something new. And so that polymer, it absorbs, so it soaks it in. Actually, one little grain of that polymer, if you were to look at salt and look at one little grain, that polymer, it absorbs like 400 times the size of it. So it can absorb, well, one little piece would come about the size, 400 times its size. That is what's so amazing with this polymer. Now, boys and girls, this was created, well, it was created by scientists, somebody like me, but not me. I wish it was me, because then I would live on a beach with a beach house and enjoy the sun and all that, but no, that wasn't me. But scientists invented this for our space program. Early in our space program, we were blasting astronauts off, and well, boys and girls, it got messy. It got messy because, well, they didn't know what to do when they needed to use the bathroom. That's right. And so it got messy. And so scientists had to come up with a way to set down and, well, to fix it. And so they came up with the sodium polyacrylate. That's right. And so now the astronauts, they wear a diaper just like a baby would. That's right, just like a baby would. And well, just in case they need to use the bathroom, well, it's going to act like a big diaper and it's going to take it all in. Well, inside that diaper, boys and girls, you can do this same experiment. That's right. So all you're going to need is a Ziploc bag. You're going to need a diaper, a clean diaper, not a dirty diaper, a clean diaper. And you're going to take all the cotton out of that diaper. Now, make sure whenever you do an experiment, you have mom and dad or an adult with you at all times. We want to make sure you're safe, and we want to make sure that your community's safe, your family's safe, because, well, One thing I learned years ago when I was 8 years old, remember I told you I love science. Well, I tried some things when I got home. Boys and girls, it was not pretty. That's right. My mom and dad were not there, and I almost burnt down my house. That's right. It is a true story. I almost burnt down my house. So you always have an adult present, making sure that everything is safe. Well, if you take that cotton inside that Ziploc bag and you kind of tear it apart while you're putting it in the bag and then seal it up and shake it, yeah, you start shaking it, all of that polymer that is woven inside of that cotton will fall out. It will go down to the corner of the bag. Now, if you take the cotton out, take that polymer, those granules, put it in a cup and use some warm water or just regular tap water, pour it in, it will turn to a solid just like this. Now, boys and girls, that's chemistry, and that is amazing. That's right, that is amazing. Now, I don't know about you, I love science a whole bunch. And so if you have questions today, make sure you put those in those chat boxes so Miss Laura can ask me. Now, also, you're going to get a link to my website, and you can download like activity pack that's got puzzles and games and experiments, and then there's a study guide talking about definitions and vocabulary words and all those things, so you can continue your science training and become a super scientist. That's right, you can become a super scientist. Now, boys and girls, I have time for just one more experiment. That's right, one more experiment, but you have to guess, is it a physical change or a chemical change? That's right, you have to guess which one it is. Now, remember, a physical change is we're not getting something brand new, we're just changing the state of the matter. So we change. Remember, water goes to ice or water goes to steam. We're changing the state of matter. We used alcohol, and when we pressurize it and decrease the pressure, it turned to a cloud. So we only change the state of matter. But a chemical change is when we put those chemicals together and we get something brand new. Now, I've got this last experiment for you. One more experiment I'm going to show you. And I want to see if you can guess physical change, chemical change. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Let me pull it out, boys and girls, because it is huge. That is right. Now, boys and girls, I have some water. Now, it is green in color because I like green, if you did not know. If you did not know, well, you know now. I like green. And so what we are going to do is I've got my water with a little bit of food coloring in it, and I have got a sheet of paper. That's right. I have got a plain sheet of paper. Now, here is what's going to take place. We are going to take this paper, we are going to put it inside of this green water, and we're going to see what happens. Will we get a physical change or will we get a chemical change? Are you ready? Are you excited like I am? It doesn't matter if I've done it like 100 times. I just still get excited about it. So it's going to be amazing. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Let's put the paper inside of my water. There it goes. Now, boys and girls, watch. I'm going to stir it up. And guess what? That paper disappeared. That paper disappeared. That paper is not in there anymore. That's right. So here is the question for you. Here's the question. Is it a physical change or is it a chemical change? Oh, all right. I want to hear you scream, okay? I might not be able to hear you, but I want whoever's with you in the house or in the wherever you're at right now, I want them to hear you scream, okay? So if you think it's a physical change, scream as loud as you can. Ah! And then if you think it's a chemical change, you scream now. Ah! That's right. Now, let me tell you what it is. Boys and girls, it is, drum roll, it is a chemical change. That's right. It is a chemical change because we got something brand new. Now that paper, well, it looked like paper, but it really was a polymer. That's right. It was a polymer. Remember, we just talked about polymer? A polymer is that repeating chain of molecules. Yeah. So that paper is more polymer than, well, what we would use like cellulose when we make paper, or wood that we condense down and flatten out and make paper. So this is more of a polymer. So when it goes into the water, it dissolves. So it has very little cellulose in there, and so it dissolves and makes something brand new. Now, they used to call this, or they still call it, like spy paper. So you can write a note and you can share it with a friend, put it in the water, and it disappears. That's right. Yeah, so it is amazing. And it is chemistry. Boys and girls, chemistry is all over the place. That's right. Chemistry is all over the place. If you use soap, that's chemistry, right? That's chemistry. If you eat some food, well, more than likely chemistry is involved in that too. Yes, chemistry is everywhere in everyday life. Now, I'm going to be turning it back over to Miss Laura and see if we have any questions today. But let me remind you this. As John Glenn always told me when I met him, he said, Mr. DoDad, Professor DoDad, never stop learning. So boys and girls, never stop learning. Make sure that you always check out a book, read online, and never stop learning. I hope you enjoyed it. Hello, Miss Laura, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, Miss Laura.
That was so cool. And I love that message of never stop learning, because I think that connects so well with everything that we do at the library.
Yes, ma'am. Isn't it amazing that, you know what, no matter how old we are or how young we are, we should never stop learning.
Never. I learned new things today. The difference between a chemical and a physical reaction. I'm learning new things every single day. So I love that.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Chemistry is so much fun.
And I love that how you said that chemistry is everywhere. So, we don't really need all these, necessarily all these really special tools. There are things right in our house that we can use for chemistry experiments.
Exactly. Oh, Miss Laura, have you ever made slime before?
I have made slime.
Oh, and it's just stuff right inside your house. It's stuff like up under the sink that you can use.
Mm-hmm. Simple things like glue and borax and water, all the things, things that we just have right in our house. Well, my friends at home, if you have any questions for Professor DoDad, you can put them in the chat and he will very happily answer them for you. But while we wait for some questions to come into the chat, may I ask you a question, Professor DoDad?
Sure, certainly.
Do you have any advice for young scientists, like scientists that are just starting out and want to get involved in chemistry? Do you have any advice for them?
Sure. You need to go to the library and check out books. You need to read. That's what I did. So when I was 8 years old and I watched that scientist do the experiment, you know what I got to do right after that? We went to the library and I started checking out books on science. And I got books about physics and chemistry and all those different things. And I started doing those experiments and seeing what was happening. So if you want to gain your knowledge, if you're just starting out and want to become a super scientist, check out books. Also, Miss Laura, on our YouTube page, like DoDad's Lab, we have experiments online that they got. It's all things that they can find right around their house that they can do experiments right along with me.
Oh, that is so awesome. I love that. I love it. So let's see. I see a question coming through. The last experiment that you did, they're asking what type of paper you used for that experiment.
It was called, if you were to go buy it, now let me just say this. You've actually got some already in your house and you don't know about it. Well, you might know about it. Actually, it's toilet paper. That's right. It's actually almost like toilet paper. Toilet paper has a little bit more cellulose in it. So you can take toilet paper and put it in water and stir it, and eventually it's going to break down. But it's actually called Dissolvo paper. You can get it at any of the office supply stores and things like that. And the whole paper will dissolve, but it's mostly polymer. So that's why it dissolves inside of it. So yeah, go to like an office supply place, or you can get it online. You can go any of the online stores and put in dissolving paper and you will find all kinds of it. But you can use toilet paper too. That's what's really neat.
Perfect. Awesome. Somebody is asking, do you have any favorite books for science for lower elementary grade students?
Ooh, I don't know. There's so many. I was actually like the downtown library last year looking at all the books, and there were like hundreds of them. There are tons and tons of science books. Listen, you can check out one, and even if you get one experiment that you like, that is an incredible book. But then check out another. Don't stop with just one, because maybe some of the experiments you might not really like, but you might learn something. So don't get stuck on just one book. Just keep checking out more and more books.
Absolutely. Oh, here's a fun one. I want to be an aerospace engineer when I grow up. Is there any chemistry done at NASA?
Ooh, there's all kinds of chemistry done at NASA. And NASA is huge. Now, here's the thing with NASA that you can go do right now when you leave out. If you are with your parents or adult, make sure you go to nasa.com. On their website are all kinds of experiments that you can do and things that are very similar in chemistry and physics and things like that, that you can do right at home that our astronauts in space are doing right now.
Awesome. Well, I see a lot of people thanking you and telling you how much they love your program. I don't see any more questions coming through, but I have one more question, actually.
Oh, yes.
I was thinking about this while you were doing your show. Have you ever done an experiment where you expected one result and then something completely different happened?
Most certainly. It happens all the time. You know, science is, I always say this, you got to expect the unexpected, because sometimes science doesn't always work out. Actually, when I was putting together a video, I was trying, you know what, I'll tell you what just happened this past Saturday. I was recording the new video that I put on YouTube about slime, okay? I was trying a brand new way that I was like, ooh, I'll try it and just see what happens, because everybody was like, oh, this is really cool. I tried it. It did not happen. It was still liquid. It never set down, and it didn't attach itself together like the glue molecules attach themselves together when you sit down and have that acid-base reaction in slime. Well, listen, it didn't happen, and I had to go back to my original way, which was setting down and using baking soda and contact cleaner and water. And so I used that. But yeah, it always happens. That's what science is. Sometimes it never comes out like you think it will. Sometimes it goes a whole different direction, but that's how we find out things. If you've ever had your parents cooking on the stove with a skillet, most skillets have a non-stick surface, and that non-stick most of the time is Teflon. Teflon was a mistake that a scientist, when he was doing an experiment, he made a mistake. And it didn't come out like he thought it would, but it came out to be Teflon. And Teflon, well, it became on everything that if you didn't want it to stick, you could put Teflon and it wouldn't stick. And it was an amazing discovery, but it was a mistake. It was a mistake.
Wow. I love that when that happens, that something's a mistake and it ends up being something that's so groundbreaking. I
know, and it's amazing, isn't it? It is like, yes. Oh, wow. And he got very, very rich too.
That's awesome. Well, Gabby says, me and my sister want to be just like you. So,
oh, thank you, Gabby. It's good to hear you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Absolutely. Do you have time for one more question, Professor DoDad?
Sure, most certainly.
Somebody is asking, are there any yummy chemistry experiments, things we can do chemistry with food?
There is lots. There's actually books on recipes with chemistry. Now, have you ever, I went to an ice cream shop where they use nitrogen to actually cool down the milk and turn it into ice cream. That is chemistry. So you could do that. You could sit down and make your own ice cream by sitting down and using ice and milk and shaking it up and creating ice cream. You can also take like a whipping cream, and if you shake it long enough, put a little salt into it, it will make butter too. Yes. So all those things, but there's some great books in the library that has all kinds of recipes that are science. That's right. I'm keep going, Miss Laura, all the way back to the library all the time, because the library is a huge resource. It is a huge resource. And you can never get too much out of the library. There are plenty of books, especially about science, and all types of science that will help you to learn and become a super scientist.
Well, that is awesome. And if for all of you at home, if you want to learn any more about what Professor DoDad does, which I'm sure you do, you can go to his website at dodadslab.com/programs, and you can see all the really, really cool things that he does.
We have all, Miss Laura, we have all kinds of activity packs and study guides for every single show, even this show, but also our other shows that the boys and girls can sit down and do well.
That is so fantastic, because I know right now everyone's looking for things that they can do at home and all those really fun activities that they can do right from their couch. And we appreciate that you have those things available for us.
You're very welcome. I hope the boys and girls enjoy. Use it. Hey, if you like take pictures, make sure you like hashtag it with the Orange County Library System so they can see it, because they always enjoy seeing pictures of you guys learning and reading books.
We do. Absolutely. Well, Professor DoDad, thank you so much for being here today and for sharing all of your really cool chemistry experiments with us. We appreciate having you.
Oh, thank you, Miss Laura. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Have a wonderful and safe summer and become a super scientist and never stop learning, okay? Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Bye, Professor DoDad.
Bye-bye.
All right. I want to thank all of you at home for joining us today. And of course, we have more fun live events planned every single Monday throughout July, starting at 10 a.m. So please make sure that you join us next week for the Central Florida Zoo. And you can find more information about our upcoming events at ocls.info/SRP. Don't forget to track all of your reading and activities in Beanstack. You can sign up for your account at ocls.beanstack.org. And finally, we'd love to have your feedback about our virtual event. So please complete our survey in English or Spanish at your convenience. And I believe that will be put into the chat for you. All right, everybody, thank you again for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to be the first to find out when we have new fun and informative videos for you. Orange County Library System is your place to learn, grow, connect.